Join us at Women of Courage and celebrate the achievements of women. For the next 4 or 5 months, in fact, almost for the next 6 months, I am going to be discussing three books. I am going to discuss Women of Courage, The Prayer Jar, and You Are the Prophet of Your Life. The reason why I'm going to continue discussing these books is because repetition you learn from. When things are repeated to you, you have an opportunity to actually listen and learn from this information that has been repeated to you over and over again. These are some good books. These books were written to inspire you. These books were written to get you to change your life, to give you information on how to change your life, to help you. These books were written to make you feel better. They are to be read over and over again until the information reverberates in your spirit. I want you to read these books. I want you to read Women of Courage. I want you to read The Prayer Jar. I want you to read the book You Are the Prophet of Your Life. You do not have to live a miserable life. You can change that life, but you need information. And the only way to get good information is through reading. You must read. If you cannot read, then you need to get someone to teach you to read. You need to go to a library and ask a librarian who in the area teaches adults to read. You must learn to read. If you cannot read, then get someone to read a book to you. But you must operate your life on information, not gossip and hearsay and stupidity and ignorant sayings by stupid people. These books will actually help you. Please read them. The books are You Are the Prophet of Your Life, The Prayer Jar, and Women of Courage. You do not have to live a stupid, ignorant life. Before I begin today's show, there's a biblical scripture that I want to share with you. It is a scripture that warms the heart. I love to read and hear this scripture. The verse is 3 John chapter 1 verse 2. It says, "Beloved, I wish above all things that thou may prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospers." The scripture tells me that someone loves me, that I matter, that all things are possible that I can do, that my life can change for the better. You are now faced with yourself. You are going to have to do something with your life, regardless of how old you are. Do not sit there every evening gossiping on the phone with your girlfriend, spewing hatred and anger just because you are unhappy with your life. If you are unhappy, then do something about it. Change. Go back to school. Begin reading books so you can educate yourself. Find out what is actually happening in the world. Find a place in the world for yourself. Millions of people have died saving this country, and all you can do with your life is gossip and be hateful. Men and women have sacrificed their lives to keep people living in this country, to keep them safe. Your life depends on how the men in the military and the women in the military were raised, how they think, their values, what they're willing to risk to save their country, who they love, and how much they love this country. You too can do something to aid this country in surviving. You can change and stop living a hateful life. You have to get off the couch and stop feeling sorry for yourself and do something with your life. Think about it. You are sitting in a house that you hate. You are living a life that you hate. You are working a job that you hate. You are looking at a husband that you hate. You're looking at a boyfriend that you hate. You're talking to people that you call friends, but you actually hate them. You are being surrounded by hate. Now, are you going to stay this way for the rest of your life? Then die a sad, hateful person? Think about it. You are bound to live a good 20 or 30 more years. Are you going to continue living the same day in, day out? Are you going to continue talking to the same old people, hating the same old things, belittling your boss, talking about his wife, talking about your coworkers? Has it not occurred to you that you are wasting yourself, that you have something significant to offer the world instead of vitriol? Have you asked yourself, is there any other life I can live except the life I'm living now? If the answer is I can live another life than the life I'm living now, then get up and change your life and walk into a new future. Come on, you can do something to change your situation. First, you need to take a survey of yourself. Ask yourself what is bothering you the most. What situation or what person is driving you mad? That is the first situation you need to tackle. Okay, if you do not like where you're living, sit down and formulate a plan to move. Consider your options: purchasing a home or renting an apartment away from negative people. Remember, Section 8 housing is not all that it's cracked up to be. You will be around people who have given up, people who are being led by envy and jealousy. Keep your mouth shut. Don't buy anything for the house. I mean nothing. Save, save, save until you can get out of that type of housing. If you do not buy any furniture, it will not cost you anything to move. You can save for a car, you can move to an apartment. Move to an area where you need a car to go to, where buses do not run. You are trying to eliminate living around certain type of people. That's all it is to it. Do not allow your family members to visit you and bring friends along that you do not know. You must understand everyone does not want to live like you. There are people who your family members may know that are looking for people they can exploit, people who they can steal from, people they can turn their children into prostitutes. Do not allow anyone to come into your home who you do not know. That your brothers and sisters know this beforehand and tell them if they want to visit you, that's fine, but they cannot bring anyone else into your home. You have a family to protect, and you do not want any strangers coming into your home around your children. No one. And if you have to move and not tell your family, so be it. If your family has decided to live a negative life, leave that up to them. You don't have to live that kind of life, and you don't need to be around them because all they're going to ever do is talk negatively. Okay? Do you want to change your job? Then consider what skills you have and ask yourself, what skills do you need? Do you need to go back to school? What type of school do you need to go to? Then decide if you need to go to a junior college or a trade school. You may decide to go to a trade school to teach you how to repair a car, or teach you how to be a carpenter, or teach you how to be a plumber. These jobs pay a good salary. You don't I have to stay a plumber, you don't have to stay a carpenter, but these jobs can help you raise enough money so you can live better, and then you can go back to a school and try another trade. You have to decide, do you need a tutor? If so, find one. Planning is 80% of success. That is correct. Planning is 80% of success. Why do you think generals spend their time going over and over battle plans and past wars? They are looking for flaws. They're looking for better ways of doing things. That is what you must do. You must follow in their footsteps of the successful generals by planning and analyzing your situation. When you are planning, role play is a great help. Role playing puts your imagination to work. Imagination gives you an idea of possibilities, what can happen, what you can bring into reality. If you're not good at this, go to a library and get a librarian to direct you to books that can help you. There are hundreds of how to books in the library. There are hundreds of books in the library that can tell you how to plan. You are not wasting your time by reading these books. Reading these books will open your mind to possibilities and methods of succeeding. If you cannot read, then that should be your first priority. You need to go to the library and ask a librarian to give you information on who in the area can teach people to read. You can learn to read while making your plans to change your life. Stop being ashamed of the fact that you cannot read. Just go find someone that can teach you to read and learn to read. Second of all, remember, shut up. Do not tell anybody what you want to do with your life. This is the hardest part of change, keeping your mouth shut. You want to tell someone about your dream. You want to tell someone what you want to do with your life. You want to tell someone how successful you want to be. Well, that is all well and good, but there are hundreds of people out there, especially your friends and family, who have hundreds of stories to tell you that you can't make it, that you're going to fail in your quest for a better life. They will spend all their time trying to wear you down, and they will be happy once you change your attitude and continue on a useless life like them. If you have to talk, go to a Catholic church. Go into the confessional and talk to a priest. He knows how to keep his mouth shut. If you can't get to a priest, go to a bar in another city and talk to the bartender. He too knows how to keep his mouth shut. He doesn't know you, so he can't tell anyone about you. When you leave the bar, tip him. Once you get talking off your chest, then get down to business, planning how you're going to get out of the situation you're in. You might have to start working two jobs. Don't give anyone an explanation of why you're working two jobs. In fact, you don't have to tell them nothing. Start saving like crazy. I don't care if it's $2 a week, start saving. There will be no more spending, no more shoes purchased, no more purses purchased, no more false nails, no more hair getting done. Wear natural. Nothing but food and essentials to live. Do not waste any food. Don't leave the water running. Plan your trips if you're driving so to reduce your gas consumption. Turn the lights off in the house when they're not being used. Wear a sweater to keep the heating down. Here is the bottom line. You are to look at everything that you can do to cut your expenses, but do not endanger your family. But begin being prudent in your spending. You must take a good look at your job, your housing, the nearest bus lines. You need to know a good mechanic if you have a car. You need to know where the nearest bus lines are, where the nearest police station are, where the police take their lunch, where the police hang out. You need to get a notebook and write down everything you can think of. Put down what the problems are in your life and what solutions that you seek. What it will take to accomplish these solutions. Spend time on this list. This way, you are ordering your priorities. You are eliminating costly mistakes and setbacks. What babysitters are available? More than one. Where are the grocery stores? When are they open? Where is the laundromat? When are they open? When do they close? Now, before you begin this journey, you're going to need encouragement and daily reinforcement. For this problem, you need to cut off all contact with negative people. You may have to change your phone number. Do not tell anyone what you're planning, that you're going to change your life. Because the first thing a negative person is going to tell you is that you will not succeed. And then they will invite you to go to the bar to ensure that you stay as miserable as they are. I want you to understand something. Everybody is different. Everyone has a talent. There are some people that can't run around a city block, but they're great problem solvers. They're not doers as people would consider, but they can solve problems. They don't body build, but they can definitely think. You need to find out the person who you are. Now, in the 2 years that it takes you to formulate your plan and get your plan into action, it is you can use that time to develop your personality. You may need, and in fact, I think you should consult a psychiatrist. You need to develop certain personal characteristics like patience, fortitude, tenacity, stick to itness. You will have so much time to devote to planning that you will not have time to gossip or mind someone else's business. The lives of your children are at stake. If you do not move, the young men in your area will try and turn your daughter into a prostitute and your son into a thief. Did you hear what I said? I said the young men and the old men in that neighborhood will try to turn your daughter into a prostitute and your son into a thief. So you need to get your plans together so you can move out of that neighborhood. I said move to an area that requires a car to get to. Anybody can afford bus fare. People always say the devil is busy, but your motto should be, I'm busier than the devil. Every morning you get up, you should tell yourself, I'm busier than the devil. See, people think they cannot defeat evilness, but you can. Evilness can be defeated with perseverance, tenacity, and righteousness. Remember, you are in command of your ship, which means you are in command of the family business, which means you are in command. So, when you are in command, then command. This was said by Rear Admiral William Bull Halsey during the Midway campaign. He says, when you command, then command. You play it the way you feel it. Remember, the past is the past. Yes, you made mistakes. Yes, you acted a fool. Your kids can't read. You have no place to stay. You have no car, and you can barely read. But in 2 years, this can change. Anyone can be a fool, but it is the person who chooses to remain a fool who is in real trouble, not the person who realizes their mistakes and seeks change. You need to start thinking, and in order to start thinking, you need information. So therefore, you must read. You have to have a good attitude about what you're doing. Every morning, and I mean every morning and every night, you need to talk to yourself about your future. You have a mantra that you say to yourself morning, noon, and night. I'm going to make it out of these circumstances. I'm going to live a better life. I want you to investigate the word focus. Focus. First, read all the definitions of the word focus. Then write an essay on the word. Then incorporate the meaning of this word into your behavior. After this, I want you to research the Phantom Army that the English invented during the Second World War. I want you to read everything about this Phantom Army. Then I want you to read about the code breakers at Bletchley Park. Then read about the time when they cracked the code but had to keep their mouths shut and a disaster occurred. Many English people lost their lives. As you read about these people were no different than you, except they had a purpose. Read so you can get a different view of the world and what is possible. Secondly, if you planning, make certain that you consider your safety at all times. When you are at home, be concerned for your safety. Lock the doors, have an alarm on your house. You want to be safe in your car, which means you need to keep your tires checked. You need to check your brakes. You need to have road service. And you need to be careful driving at night. This is when men hunt for victims. Be aware of your neighbor. Make certain you have a phone in your car. Be aware of your surroundings. Do not be preoccupied with your thoughts when you are driving. You are to remain alert of all the cars that are around you. You need to get gas during the daylight hours. Make certain that you keep at least a half a tank of gas at all times. If you work as a waitress in a drugstore or directly with the public, be aware of male customers. There can be danger behind their smile. We will talk more on this later. I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while you listen to information regarding willpower and encouragement. It is all a matter of learning new behaviors. And please remember, it is easier to build strong minds than to repair injured people. What I said is a modification of a quote by Frederick Douglass. He said, it is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. Now,
A discussion of the book, The Prayer Jar. Prayer is the way to success. Luck, fortune, and success comes with prayer. Prayer is the direct communication of God with the person, and there are ways of prayer that need to be elaborate. This book is based on these ways. If you want success in life, then read the book. Way to Success. This book is the initial way to success. If you are facing unsuccessful tenure of life, then this book will give you the power to travel on the successful road. Communication with God. To make your life smooth and with problems, communication with God is the best tool. This book will lead you to prepare with the communication with God to make your life better. Wider range to think. This book has a worldwide example that makes you think in a wider and enhances the limitations of the brain. This book is the straight way to think out of the box. Best Quotes of Brilliance. This book will provide you the extract version of the best quotes of brilliance, which can never be available in other reading materials. These quotes will help the reader to motivate and think beyond the normal routine. Provide happiness in life. The reader of this book will feel the happiness in life, surrounding in nature, even in work, because this book is a combination of prayers that will never let the reader down. If you want happiness in life, then you must read the book. Free Positive Power. Most of the persons think of power with guns and religion, or want to be the dictator of the world with artificial power, which is a sin and can't belong. This book will provide the reader an opportunity to feel the positive power to rule the world with kindness and happiness, which will exist even after your life. Be yourself. This book will help you to know about yourself and will let the reader that is yourself, because everyone else is taken. Be yourself is the thing that most of the persons are afraid of. This book will help you to be yourself with satisfaction. Don't be a fool. This is a common thing that everyone makes mistakes and does foolish things. This book helps the reader to accept the mistakes without any hesitation and worry. It will bring a mental peace to make you set away from foolish things. God's Will. This book will provide the understanding to the reader and what is God's will to spend a happy life. Almost everyone is upset and unhappy with life because of unnatural events. Read this book to know God's will to fight against worries. Good Parenting. If you're a parent or soon will be a parent, then this book will provide you to become a responsible parent in the light of religion and success. You must read the book to make sure that your decisions are right or wrong. You should visit touchedbythelight.us and
if you are a woman who has been using her vagina to get through life, you need to take a break and listen to me. Vaginas only last so long, then the 50s and 60s hit you and you're through. If you have not amassed enough money, paid off your house, and created enough employment to be eligible for Social Security, you are hit. That is right. I said a vagina only lasts so long. Going to the bar, bringing a man home every 3 or 4 months will soon wear thin. You will develop a reputation at the bar and in the neighborhood. Pretty soon no man will want to deal with you except the common trash. Men who are incompetent that do not want to work. In your 50s and 60s, you will have to take a job as a housekeeper at the local hospital or work at McDonald's. Most days you will feel so bad you will want to just lay down and die. You will soon see your sons go off to prison and your daughters off to prostitution. You will be saddled with a group of grandchildren, none that you can provide for properly. Your life will be in the toilet, and you will sit before the television asking yourself, where did all the years go? Your life went down the drain because you, like millions of other women, believed in the big lie. You were told by your mother or grandmother or aunt that all a woman needed to do to get along in life was to be pretty and sexy. All you had to do was find some man to take care of you. Well, what they told you is a lie. It is an illusion. It is a stupid theory. Yes, a pretty woman can attract a man, but that does not assure her a life of security nor a life of leisure. Her husband or boyfriend can find another woman just as pretty, then what? So rather than bank on a man supporting you, why not develop your mind so you can take care of yourself? Why not educate yourself? You still can be pretty and you still can be sexy, but the only difference here is you can earn your own money and take care of yourself. So when you get into the 50s and 60s and you're 70 years old, you can own your own home, you can have Social Security or an annuity or a pension where you can live securely and safely. Getting an education for yourself does not preclude you from having a healthy relationship with a man. But what an education will do for you is guarantee you that you do not have to end up working at McDonald's when you get old and your looks and body is gone. Are you not tired of hood rats? Men who do not want to work, men who want to play video games all day or walk down to the dope house and purchase some marijuana and using your money. These are men who do not want to take a bath and go out into the world and make something of themselves. What you need to do right now, this very second, is make up your mind to change. And you can change your life through reading. We want you to consider reading the books If You Believe in God, You Do Not Belong in Prison, You Are the Prophet of Your Life, A Christian is Never Desperate, and read the series Women of Courage. You can go to the website touchedbythelight.us and read the first chapters of these books. They're guaranteed to help you change your life.
Reasons to read You Are the Prophet of Your Life. 1. This book is not just for Christians. This book is good for people of all religions or even lacking religion. As said on the About page of the book, you don't have to believe in God to read scriptures. Reading the scriptures can help liberate you from negative thinking. In this book, we see how this is true and can learn to fight against this negative thinking ourselves. 2. This book is a great book for feminists. This book talks about the struggles of women put in hard situations. Although it is not recommended for survivors of violence, it is a great reminder of how the world can be to those of us who have been more privileged and lucky. This book shows us the lives of fellow women who've had it tough. It reminds us to be grateful for our fortune and reminds us how this world needs to change. Once we have that in our heads, all of us women can stand together and make the changes needed to better the lives of all women, hopefully forever. 3. This book helps us break away from negative thinking. Negative thinking is what keeps us away from our true potential. If we don't think we can do something, often we won't. The author of this book herself mentioned in her introduction that she almost didn't go through with writing the book because 3 men told her that no one would read it. If we instead believe in ourselves, we can reach our full potential. We can write that book or start that hobby. 4. This book reminds us to stick to our morals. No matter what you believe in something. Something or someone is right and the other is wrong. There are nuances, but you have created those nuances with your beliefs too. The author of this book is clear and strong beliefs and feelings when it comes to what one should and should not do. Even if we as readers do not agree with this, we can be inspired by her intensity. We can learn how to be as strong in our beliefs as well and stand up for the changes we want to happen. 5. This book helps us question the society we are a part of. This book points a critical finger and magnifying glass at our society. It shows us how men and women each fail in our lives and our society. We can see how the author is skeptical of our society, and we can become skeptical ourselves. This is not a bad thing. This keeps us from blindly following something that may or may not match our values and morals. 6. This book helps us take a deeper look into our emotions. You Are the Prophet of Your Life shows us how our emotions affect our actions and how these emotions can get in the way. If we are too loose with how we feel, we can make decisions we will later regret. However, if we are too strong, we can't let in love of anyone, including God. This book helps us check on our emotions by hearing the stories of others. 7. Reading itself is great. Reading is fun. It can also help us better our lives and increase our knowledge of many topics. 8. This book reminds us that we are to be judged by our actions and words. We are what we do and say. We are to be judged on that and not anything else. Just because we describe ourselves as a specific type of person like Christian or atheist, that doesn't make anyone better or worse than the other. The superiority comes from what you do with the life, time, and opportunities we are provided. 9. This book makes you feel. This book uses the second-person point of view of you. This keeps us in the headspace of those to who the author is writing. It makes you feel like the author is talking directly to you, reaching into your soul and letting you know right and wrong. 10. The book provides actual biblical quotes. Actual biblical quotes show you the more direct words of God, which can help religious individuals in their worship and personal relationship with God. It can also help us understand the reasoning behind the author's beliefs and gives her some more authority on each topic. As well, even if you are not religious, you can recognize the historical significance of the text and understand that they are coming from a place of hoping for a more moral world. You should visit touchedbythelight.us and need a publisher? Contact Touched by the Light Publishing Services today. We can help. We can help you write, publish, or promote your book. Get the best book publishing services available. Call 734-786-3233. Leave your contact information and we will get back to you. Or email your contact information to yithril11@netzero.net. Get the best proofreading, editing services, book cover and website development, book trailers, and more. Email us at yithril11@netzero.net to get started. We are self-publishing made easy. We empower independent authors. We can help you write, publish, or promote your book. Once you contact us, the hard part is over. Self-publish your work quickly, easily, and affordably today. Call 734-786-3233. Leave contact information or email contact information to yithril11@netzero.net. That's all there is to it. Now you can leave the rest to us. Ready to show the world what you've been working on? Call 734-786-3233 today and let's get started.
Hi, I decided that at the end of every show for the next year, I would share excerpts from a book that I believe would enhance your life and make you a stronger thinker and problem solver. All characteristics that will help you win at life and raise stronger and healthy children. Many of you turn your nose up at reading, or you snub the advice that you must read in life to succeed, or you compare the cost of a book to getting a new pair of shoes or getting your hair done or your nails done. The reason why you make these cost comparisons is because you do not truly value a book. A book is a magnificent instrument that can change the course of your life and the lives of your children. In later shows, I plan to discuss with you how a book changed the lives of certain people. I understand that you do not earn a lot of money, and this money is valuable to you because of all the things you see advertised that you desire, and you do not want to spend a lot of money on a book. A new pair of shoes is more valuable to you than a book. If you truly cannot afford a book, then you need to go to the library and take your children with you for a day of reading. You must gird your loins and proceed at educating yourself. Some of you seem to think that having a conversation with your stupid girlfriend or your stupid boyfriend will help you more than reading a book, when actually having a conversation with your loudmouth girlfriend or loudmouth boyfriend is merely a cathartic, allowing you to blow off steam and proclaim how life has been so unfair to you. What you do not realize is that the advice coming from your do nothing girlfriend or your do nothing boyfriend is advice coming from a fool. Your do nothing girlfriend is a sexual opportunist looking for a man she can impress with her body. When her vagina fails her, what will your girlfriend do but go to work at McDonald's or Wendy's at the age of 60 and continue to spread her ignorance at church? Her daughter will be on the street and her son in prison. She will never realize that her life is the result of the decision she made not to educate herself through reading. All her life, she felt that she had something better to do than reading. She had something better to do than reading with her children. She had something better to do than working with her children. And that was going to the bar, trying to entertain a man, or trying to find some man that would buy her a pair of shoes. A man spending money on her was more important than educating herself. In later shows, I'm going to spend a great deal of time giving you some examples of fools. These are people who think they are smart, willing to trade their body and integrity for a dollar bill. These people end up in the cemetery after lamenting each and every day of their lives about their unfilled dreams. Do not be upset by the use of the word fool. You tell me if a woman is not a fool to instruct her grandson to kill her husband for a $25,000 life insurance. Let that sink in for a moment. Instead of instructing her grandson to make something of his life, the grandmother instructs her grandson to become a murderer, to kill his grandfather. I have this anecdotal advice for you about reading. Listen to this short true story. A friend and I were talking. She said a woman she knew called her and sought to renew their friendship. During their conversation, the woman told my friend that President Trump had done so much for black people, and that's why she voted for him in 2016, and she was going to vote for him again in the upcoming election. My friend asked her a question. She said, "Tell me some of the things that Trump has done for black people." The woman said, "A whole lot." My friend persisted and asked her to name one thing that Trump had done for black people. The woman could not. The woman kept using the phrase, "a whole lot of things." My friend said after a while she stopped talking. Finally, the conversation was over and my friend hung up. My friend said, as she hung up, she made up her mind right then that she would never renew her friendship with this woman. Now ask yourself why. Why would she not renew her friendship with this woman? You can answer this question in two words. The woman was a poor thinker. She never investigated anything that was told to her. Whether you know it or not, a person who is a poor thinker, who does not examine his or her thinking, is a very dangerous person indeed. Think about it.
Hi there. Are you confused about the situation of life? Or are you discouraged about your present situation? Or have you been discouraged that you can never amount to something due to past failure? Or are you loaded with lots of fear? Or are you depending on friends to survive for living? Well, worry no more. We have information today that will help you on your way to living a better, more fulfilling life. We have for you today a book very loaded and well packaged titled The Prophet of Your Life. This book will enlighten you on who you are, how to build yourself, and how to be a prophet of your life. Many of us feel passing through hard times and feel the world is crashing out on you. Do you feel that there is nothing to live for anymore? Probably you are even contemplating to condemn yourself. You don't need to suffer in silence. If there is anything in your life that you don't like, you can change it. You do not have to cope with that situation anymore. What you need is a touch of light through the right knowledge that will make you become a prophet of your own life. It is only in your darkest hours that you may discover the true strength of the brilliant light within yourself that can never, ever be dimmed. You Are the Prophet of Your Life is an exceptional book that will expand your understanding of violence and offer measures to prevent violence against women, children, and the community. It will help you to make informed and timely decisions that can help save lives, enrich your soul, enlighten your mind, and make you understand that capacity inside you to change things. If you desire to nourish your mind, grow, and get to greater heights, then choose to be the prophet of your own life by taking advantage of this rare opportunity. Knowledge is your best weapon against evil. A lot of us live lives, but only few live their dream lives. A lot of us have lofty dreams. We want to have successful relationships. We want to own big corporations. We want to raise beautiful families, but only few are able to fulfill their desires. A lot of people are confused about how to live their lives to the fullest, so they end up living a life of mediocrity. Maybe that describes you. You're not alone. Well, understand first of all that life is not rocket science. So what you put in is what you get. If you fall into the category of people who do not have the willpower to live their own lives, then I've got good news for you. You Are the Prophet of Your Life is the book you need. It doesn't only help solve a lot of personal problems, it also provides practical guidance on how you can move from the realm of dreaming to the realm of doing, so that you can achieve your heart's desire. To better explain, let's watch a couple of videos about the wonderful book entitled You Are the Prophet of Your Life. We hope you enjoy it. Now, you must have seen how negativity can ruin a beautiful life. By living positively, you can solve a number of personal problems that could stand in your way of a happy and successful life. Think of your life as a new building, for which you are the architect. You can decide how many bathrooms or bedrooms to put in there. Think of your life as a vehicle for which you are the driver. You can decide when to stop or accelerate. Think of your life as a ship on a stormy sea, for which you are the sailor. You have to sail to safety, otherwise the ship will capsize. Only you can determine your course. Only you can decide what direction you want to go. Everyday life throws different challenges at us. How we choose to handle them could make all the difference in our lives. You can decide what happens in your life. You can be your own prophet. Some of the key messages discussed in the book include being consistent in your say and belief. One of the biggest problems most people encounter is being inconsistent. A lot of us fail when our thoughts and beliefs are put to the test. This should never be so. Being inconsistent in one's belief translates to sowing seeds of doubt and unbelief. And like the famous saying, whatever you sow, you will reap. As much as you can, endeavor to be consistent in what you say. Not only this, you must ensure that your speeches exude faith, happiness, and wellness. Being pessimistic is dangerous. Why get up in the morning telling yourself it's going to be a horrible day? Why tell yourself you are meant for the doom and not the fortune? No matter how bad your yesterday was, it should never stop you from being optimistic. Being pessimistic sets you up for a miserable life. It prevents you from seeing the positives in your life. You must realize that you're in control of what you think. Most importantly, you must always remember it is positive thinking that will make you a better person. The importance of reading scriptures. You do not need to believe in God to read scriptures. Reading the scriptures can help liberate you from negative thinking. God's words exude hope and positivity. They do not forecast doom and gloom. God tells man that he can look forward to a great life by living righteously and not violating others. Nothing can be as powerful as this. The need to investigate your emotions. Taking authority over your life involves you investigating your emotions. A lot of us fail in this regard. Investigating our emotions requires self-examination, which is usually painful. Apart from this, most of us are scared of making mistakes. Thus, we tend to prefer to oscillate back and forth between two kingdoms, then taking tough decisions. Irrespective of how difficult investigating your emotions can be, you must never shy away from it. When you do not investigate your emotions, you are inviting others to take control of your life. A lot of us have found ourselves in threatening scenarios: a cheating husband or a cheating wife, an unwanted pregnancy, extreme poverty, and many others. We are faced with making decisions which could either make or mar us. While some of us were able to scale through, others weren't lucky enough. Well, it is not that the women that couldn't make it through were foolish or less deserving. Most of the time, they were just unlucky to be victims of the weak belief system of the society we find ourselves. You can liberate yourself. The book, You Are the Prophet of Your Life, was written to help people all across the world to stand and confront the monsters in our lives for the sake of the future of our children. This book takes into cognizance the millions of people in the world who have lost their lives solely because they were poor and were unable to control their environment. As you can see from our last video, the book, You Are the Prophet of Your Life, applies to everyone, male or female. A Chinese proverb says the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. You should never be afraid of taking the bold step. You want a change of career at 40? Go for it. You need to acquire a new skill to boost your income? Go for it. You love someone but are scared to tell them? Come on, do it now. No one would kill you for that. It's the story of your life. Don't let anyone else but you be the writer. You can look beyond the facade of whatever despair and disappointment you're currently facing. Don't ever look down on yourself. If you ever have to look down, make sure it's your shoes you're admiring. You need a companion to help you through life? You need a companion to help make your decision-making a lot easier? That companion is You Are the Prophet of Your Life. Order your copy now and live the life you've always wanted. We at Touched by the Light Publishing hope you enjoyed our presentation and realize you can enjoy a more fruitful and fun-filled life after reading You Are the Prophet of Your Life. Order your copy now and purchase a copy to help someone you love now at http://www.touchedbythelight.us.
One of the most effective ways of getting ahead in life is by learning from the mistakes and successes of other people. This way, one can avoid the mistakes other people have made and possibly achieve success faster. This is one of the reasons why you cannot afford not to read the series Women of Courage. In this series of books, the lives and times of several women were chronicled who, by sheer courage, conquered the world around them. These women are examples of the quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson, who said, "When a resolute young fellow steps up to the great bully, which is the world, and takes him boldly by the beard, he is often surprised to find out that the beard comes off in his hand and that it was only tied on to scare away the timid adventurer." These are ordinary women like all of us, but they were determined to do extraordinary things. From the stories of their lives, you will learn how to stop making and living a mediocre life and start conquering your world and living on your own terms. For them, failure was not an option. Rather, it was an opportunity to refire and reach for their goals again. They have shown tremendous courage, so much that their lives could easily serve as a template for other women to emulate. Your primary starting point is believing in yourself and encouraging yourself even in the face of failure and naysayers. Thomas Edison failed numerous times, but he kept going. Finally, he won and invented the light bulb and other inventions. The same with Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln failed at politics many times. He even ran for dog catcher and lost, but he kept running for public office until he was elected president. One thing about the series Women of Courage, the books are not ordinary books. These books will challenge you, push you, and of course inspire you to gain your life again. Remember, a man is what he thinks about all day. So said Ralph Waldo Emerson. Dear male listeners, our show may be called Women of Courage, but our name should not stop you from listening to our show. You have as much to learn and to consider as women. Why? Because many of you are fathers, sons, and brothers. And you need to understand those forces and situations that affect the female members of your family. So we do implore you to listen to our show with an ear for understanding. Thank you.
Dear listeners, help us save a life. Stop breast cancer from taking lives. Will you assist us in putting the booklet, Black Women and Breast Cancer, into the hands of 1 million people? Please go to the website touchedbythelight.us and download the booklet, Black Women and Breast Cancer. Then email this booklet to 5 family members and friends, asking them to email the booklet to 5 of their friends. We're trying to reach 1 million women with this information to save lives. The death of one woman to breast cancer from our community is one woman too many. We thank you for your support.
This video was brought to you by the Women and Children's Restoration Ministries. Why not email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com and learn about the programs we have to assist women. We welcome women who wish to participate. Surely you have a few hours each month to help us with one of our programs. We believe that one of our programs, Recruiting Citizens, The Wall Project, Black Women in Cancer, Teach Someone to Read, will interest you, where you might volunteer once a month to help us. Our primary function is to assist women in changing their lives. Email us today. We would appreciate your help.
Don't be discouraged. Yes, you can live a life you want to and be the person you want to. Be a goal getter. Take this bold step to order and purchase these life-changing books so as to learn the detail of the struggles and limitations women faced before becoming the icons they are today. Then you can avoid mistakes too. I'm going to be honest with you here. There's only one inspirational book which has encouraged me not to be fearful as a woman, but to take a bold but little step to changing my low self-esteem and total life situation positively, so quickly and greatly. My little secret has been the books titled Women of Courage. This book has been so amazing and knowledge-packed. Before now, there hasn't really been a right, perfect time to do the right or perfect thing. Most often than not, I've continued to wait for the right time to have things done, but it always never comes. Not until I got hold of the books, Women of Courage. To gain knowledge and becoming a woman of purpose, only then I was able to create the perfect and right time to grab every opportunity that confronted me. I was strong and determined never to get too comfortable and to stop growing. I was able to use and control my anger and temper for the right course. I became the woman of courage that was not deterred of what people say. I created and took advantage of every opportunity where people saw as limitations. Thanks to the story of many courageous and determined women of history. Interesting, isn't it? The success story of many women who read the book convinced me. Here I am, more refined, courageous, and living the kind of life I have always hoped for. You too can become the woman of courage and purpose everyone would admire, just like me.
Join us at the Women of Courage show every Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. and every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. for information that will change your life. You can also visit us at our website, touchedbythelight.us, for more information. Thank you. If you do not like your life, then change it. Listen to us when we broadcast, and we can help you find a new way.